So as you all know, Tulsi Gabbard has been going around humiliating herself. She's basically campaigning for Trump. She endorsed him in a rally the other day. And look, it's one thing to just become a conservative Republican. That's one thing. I'll have my issues. I'd have my issues with it, and I'd argue about it. But it's a totally other thing to, as you're making the case for Trump, lie relentlessly, right? And try to imply, if not outright say in many instances, oh, he's the anti-war guy. Fucking spare me. Total bullshit. And she knows that. She knows this bullshit. Okay. So here she is. She was doing a podcast the other day, and she gave us this amazing moment.
The troubling part about all this is it's not even people who we vote for. When you look at what happened when President Biden had that infamous debate with President Trump, it exposed the reality that many of us have known for a long time, which is that President Biden has not been the guy calling the shots. He has not been the guy making the decisions, nor has it been Kamala Harris, for that matter, nor will it be if she is elected president. It is this cabal of, the Democrat elite, the woke warmongers made up of the likes of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and, Tony Blinken and Jake Sullivan and, people who are in the military-industrial complex, people who profit from us being in a constant state of war. It is those in the administrative state, in the national security state, who derive more authorities and ability to take away our liberty when we are in a heightened state of crisis or war. It is their friends and billionaires and people in media who all derive their power from being able to have a figurehead that essentially they can control. And the most troubling part about, there's so many things wrong with this, of course, but really at the most fundamental level, you look at, our country is the oldest democracy in the world, but the reality of a truly functioning and thriving democracy that has brought to life the vision that our founders had for us, that we really have a government of, by, and for the people, and that we have the ability and responsibility, for that matter, to ensure that the government we have only exists with the consent of the governed. That becomes very hard to do, to hold people accountable when the person that you voted for is certainly not the one making the decisions.
So she says, well, Biden's obviously not in control. You know who's really in control? It's the elite cabal of warmongers, the woke warmongers. And then she goes on to decry, the billionaires that are controlling the Democrats. For the love of God, Tulsi Gabbard, you are not allowed to criticize warmongers, woke warmongers, non-woke warmongers, any other kind of warmonger you want to bring up. You support the genocide of innocent Palestinians in Gaza. Minimum 48,000 Palestinians dead, 90% of them innocent civilians, women and children killed, carpet bombing, schools bombed, hospitals bombed, UN buildings bombed, 70% of the buildings in Gaza destroyed, water infrastructure attacked, literal concentration camps where they use 42 different kinds of torture against innocent Palestinians. On video, Palestinian prisoners being raped with metal rods to death. The most openly genocidal rhetoric you've ever heard from Israeli government officials. Netanyahu saying, we got to wipe out Amalek, citing something in the Bible where you have to kill the women, the children, the animals, and all that. Children of light versus children of darkness. You got people like Ben Gvir and Smotrich who are openly saying, oh, our concentration camps are a little overcrowded. I think we should just kill them all. This is just Hitler shit. This is just Nazi shit. You support continuing to arm and fund Gaza. You support that. You support that. You don't get to say shit against warmongers. You are a warmonger. You are a warmonger. But beyond that, supporting Trump. Trump saying, hey, I think the Democrats are too pro-Palestinian. I'm going to be even more pro-Israel. I'm going to send them even more money. I'm going to send them even more weapons. I'm going to let them finish the job. I'm going to call anybody who disagrees with Israel even 2% a Hamas agent and a Palestinian. I'm going to use Palestinian as an insult. And we all know Trump's foreign policy record. She loves to pretend like Trump is not a warmonger and she is not a warmonger. How many times have we been through it? Trump increased drone strikes 432%. Where's your criticism of that, Tulsi? Why is that not a red line for you, hey, I can't support Trump. I'm against warmongers, and that's pretty fucking warmongery when you increase the drone war 432%. By the way, did you know Biden nearly eliminated the drone war? Did she have a single word of praise or credit for Joe Biden over that? Did she have a single word or praise or credit for Joe Biden when he pulled out of Afghanistan? Something Trump only virtue signaled about and didn't fucking do. Trump kept us in Iraq. He kept us in Afghanistan. He bombed Syria. He came out and openly said, we need to occupy a third of Syria to, quote, take the oil. Just doing naked imperialism now. Not even going through the motions to pretend like it's about human rights and justice. Not even trying. Just like, I'm an imperialist and I'm doing imperialism. And she goes, look at the woke warmongers on the other side. It's unbelievable how all the hawkish shit Trump does, killing a top Iranian general illegally, letting Israel annex the Golan Heights, even though that's Syrian territory, trying to coup Venezuela, ripping up the Iran agreement, arming Saudi Arabia as they do a genocide, saying he wants war with Mexico in the second term. All these things don't count. Somehow putting John Bolton and Mike Pompeo and Gina Haspel and H.R. McMaster and all these insane warmongers, letting them control his foreign policy. Somehow that doesn't count. He's not a warmonger. But, you know, the Democrats, they're warmongers. And oh my God, she brings up the billionaires who are controlling everything. You don't say, Tulsi, you don't say. Anyway, you got any thoughts on Miriam Adelson having a direct quid pro quo with Donald Trump and telling him, I'll give you $100 million if you let Israel officially annex the West Bank? Any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on the $200 million given by Sheldon Adelson in the past to Donald Trump under the condition he gets to control Israeli policy? Any thoughts on that? This is why the embassy was moved to Jerusalem. This is why Trump let them officially annex the Golan Heights. Because of that money. Trump has literally been going to fundraisers with multimillionaires and billionaires and telling them directly, if you give me more money, I will give you more tax cuts. Tell me again about the billionaires. Tell me again about the billionaires and how they're a problem. And by the way, this idea, oh, it's very threatening for democracy because these Democrats, we don't even know who's really running the show. Is it really democracy if they're not even running the show? Trump lost the popular vote twice. By 3 million in 2016, by 7 million in 2020. Do you have any concerns about, oh, democracy is so important and the Democrats aren't abiding by it, but I'm going to vote for the guy who lost by 10 million votes and act like that's what? He has the consent of the governed? He's a perfect representative of what a democratic outcome is? Are you fucking kidding me? You tried to overthrow the last election, you absolute hack. You tried to overthrow democracy, and you're up there concern trolling about democracy because you're not sure Joe Biden is the one who's in control right now. What a fucking hack. Oh, God damn it. Woke warmongers, please. Their shtick is so old, it's so stale, it's so pathetic, it's so useless, and we see through you. We see through you. We see through you. We see through RFK. We see through all the fucking fake anti-establishment hacks who suck on Trump's nuts all day. We see through you. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.